Let's get going. So I left you alone on 3 of the lessons this week, and I'm kind of concerned because people didn't ask questions about the new material. So we might have some cleanup to do in class tomorrow. But until then, I'm going to answer the questions that are on the help board. We started with lesson 85. So I did all the questions on the study sheet last week, so hopefully you watched that video. And so we're starting on lesson 85. There's only a few problems, probably because we didn't have class and everyone's doing their homework at the last minute. Yikes. Okay, so this one is a new one, 85, number 7. So hold on, I do need to, I just realized I don't have my pen set, so hold on one sec. It comes too fat and I have to make it thinner. Okay. So we are on, what did I just say? We're doing 85. We're starting with number 7. So this is a new problem. This is a circle intersected with a line. So this is the equation for a circle, x squared plus y squared equals 16. And this is an equation of a line, which is called a linear equation. So all we're going to do is we're going to solve the line equation for y. I'm going to move the y to the right, and I'm going to move the 4 to the left. We do that by adding or subtracting. And now we solved it for y. I'm going to take what I solved for, I'm going to put it in for the y. So we get x squared, and we get 2x minus 4 equals 16 squared. Now I'm going to show you the mature way to FOIL. So we're going to get x squared. I hope you can all learn this. You square the first term, and we get 4x squared. We multiply these two together. I do this in my head. I think you can too. You multiply those together times 2, and you get negative 18x, and you square the last term. So it's always going to be positive. 16 equals 16. So that's the mature way. It's just a faster way. Otherwise, you're going to have to FOIL. You're going to have to say 2x minus 4 times 2x minus 4. Do first, outer, inner, last. It just takes longer when you can do it in your head this way. Okay, these 16s cross out because they're subtracting 16 from both sides. I can combine the x squared and the 4x squared and get 5x squared minus 16x equals 0. And then we factor it. Hopefully you watched the video on this. So I can take out an x and we get 5x minus 16 equals 0. Set each of these equal to 0 and we get x equals 0 and x equals 16 over 5. These are a little tricky. The irrational ones obviously are more tricky, but you're going to take those back up. We're going to put the 0 in for the x right here. So we're going to get negative 4. A little bit more complicated with a fraction. So x is 16 fifths. We're going to take 2 times 16 fifths and then subtract 4, and we get 12 fifths. So our first problem is done. All right, you can rewatch that if you want to. Okay, the next one is number 9. This is also a new concept. I did it in class, but in case you didn't see it, let's do one. We're going to do a lot of these actually because these are new. So this is number 9. So we get a to the x plus b to the x over 3. This whole thing is learning how to move variables around with exponents. These are fractional exponents too, so you have to know how to add fractions. So I am going to move this, subtract this from the, whoops, we don't have a, b, I think I forgot somebody. Oh, this is b to the negative 2. Whoops, okay. So there we go. On this one, I'm just looking, I don't have an x anywhere. Let me just check this one out. This is 85, number 9. Make sure I copied it right. No, I didn't copy it right. Let me just start this one over. All right, try again. So we get a to the x, b to the x over 3, and b to the negative 2. All over a to the x over 2. Alrighty, so we're going to combine the a's. The bases are the same, so when you divide, you subtract your exponents. and the b's are at the top. When you are multiplying, you add your exponents. So there we go. And then you have to find a common denominator. This one is a 2, so we have a 2x minus x. And this common denominator looks like it is a 3, so we're going to get x minus 6. And then you just have to do a little cleanup on this one. Not tons. You have a 2x minus x, and this should be an a. I don't know why I keep changing my a's to x's, guys. This is an a, and this is an a. Okay, so we're going to get a to the x over 2, b to the x minus 6 over all over 3. So this whole thing's over 3. All right, number 9. All right, 23. I decided not to do that one because I do those all the time. Saving time here. Sorry, whoever that was. The next one is number 23. Is that the one I said I wasn't going to do? All right, the next one is 27. 27, these can look more complicated than they are, and it's the way it's worded. So there are, I'm going to try to draw this. I don't know if I'll get this right, but you'll get the point. Like that, and like this, and like that, and like this. All right, I think that's it in this. Whoops, I did too many lines. Let me try that one again as well. Okay, we'll start with that one, and we have, let's just crisscross our lines and connect them. That might be easiest. All right, so we have letters. This is R, this is S, and we have T and X. Now, we know that this angle right here is the same as this angle because they intercept the same arc. So this angle is congruent to this angle. We can do the same thing this way. This angle is going to be the same as this angle because it intercepts the same arc. So these are congruent. So we have similar triangles, so their sides are going to be proportional. We're basically just flipping this triangle over, straight over, and everything should match. But they're similar, they're not congruent. Their angles are all the same. So we can just make ratios. So R over S equals X over T. They want you to solve it in X in terms of the other variable, which means get X by itself. So if I just cross multiply and get RT over S, that's going to equal X, and they're actually pretty easy. They're just worded really strangely. Okay, lesson 86. 86, so we're going to start with number 13. So this is another one of those exponent problems. Only it's a little different, so I'm trying to do these for you, so that, since we didn't have time to do too many of these in class. So we have x to the a plus 2 squared all over x to the 2 minus a. So this is a power to power. You're going to multiply x to the 2a plus 4. And I'm just going to bring this stuff, I'm going to bring it up to the top this time. So I'm going to get x. When you bring it up to the numerator, the signs are going to change. We could have just subtracted this all from the one that's up there. But I just brought all this up. When you bring it from the denominator to the numerator, that one was pretty easy. Okay, next one is 17. So this is one about averages of numbers. So I'm going to have to read this out of the book. It says the average of 5 numbers is 9. Numbers are 2, 1, 6, and 13. What's the 5th number? This is from lesson 5. So you have numbers 2, 1, 6, 13. We don't know the 5th one, so we put X. And there's 5 total numbers. The average is 9. Cross multiply, we're going to get 45. Add up all those numbers, we get 22 plus X. We subtract 22 from both sides, and we get X equals 23. Wow, the number had to be pretty big for the average to be 9. That is the right answer. Okay, onward. Number 19 was a little bit of a bugger. So let me just make sure I have the right one. So it's a system of 3 equations. You just have to be super duper careful on this one. So it's x plus 2y minus z equals 0. 3x plus y minus 2z equals 3. and 2x minus z equals 0. So if you notice, the last equation does not have a y, so I'm going to take these first two and I'm going to eliminate the y, and then that answer will be able to be combined with this one. We'll have two variables and two equations and we'll be able to solve it. So I'm going to eliminate the y, so what I'm going to do is multiply the second equation by a negative 2. So we're going to recopy the first one. I'm going to try to fit this in on this side. Let's see if I can do this. So we're going to get x plus 2y minus z equals 0. And then we're going to get a negative 6x minus 2y plus 4z equals negative 6. So distribute that through. Add these together. So the y's are going to cross out. That was our goal. So we're going to get negative 5x plus 3z equals negative 6. Now we did eliminate the y, so we can take the result of that and put it down here. Negative 5x plus 3z equals negative 6. And I'm going to multiply the top equation by a 3. Trying to see where I did this because I don't want to do anything off here. So 3. So we get 6x minus 3z equals 0. And then we have negative 5x plus 3z equals negative 6. And we eliminate, so we get x equals negative 6. And then you're just going to start plugging everything back in. So I'm going to take this negative 6 and put it in here. And when I do that, we get z equals negative 12. And then I'm going to take this one and put it up here and here. And we're going to get y equals negative 3. You should write this as an ordered triplet in order. So we have negative 6, negative 3, and negative 12. Looks like those are the answers, all negative. Okay, let's move on to, did we get all these from this lesson? That was number 19. We have to do 21 yet. 21, oh, we love to do these. Okay, 21 is negative 3r minus 10u. So this is in rectangular coordinates, so it's 3 this way, 10 down here, so it's going to be in this quadrant. You just kind of fake it. So this is negative 3. Distance is going to be positive, that's why I'm not going to put in negative, but the direction is negative, and the direction is negative down here. So you have to do the Pythagorean theorem to get the vector length. So we do this, and we're going to get c squared equals 109, and c equals the square root of 109. That's the length. Then we're going to do the tangent, inverse tangent of opposite. Here's our angle we're trying to find. Opposite over adjacent. And maybe this is where you got it wrong. It's 73.3. But that's theta. We want the whole angle from, we always start here to measure an angle. And we go around. So we need to add 180 to this angle. And we would get, when we add those together, our final answer, we would put square root of 109 at, and if we add those, we get 253.30 degrees. So that's the final one from lesson 86. Okay, 87. Okay, 87. Let's see if I have more room on the next page. All right, let's go with this. Okay, lesson 87. We're going to hit number 3. So this is a mixture problem. I love mixture problems. So I call them bucket problems. So we have a mixture of brown barrel. In the brown barrel was 80% sand. In the mixture in the blue barrel was 30% sand. And we wanted to get 40% sand. You can just drop the percentage, the decimals, because you're moving them all over the same amount. We don't know how much is in this one. We don't know how much is in this one, but we know that we want 600 in the 40% one. So we just do our two equations, x plus y equals 600. And then because there's two variables, we need two equations. So it's 80x plus 30y equals 18, what is it, 2400. We're going to do elimination. So we're going to multiply this one by, I did negative 30. So we get 30x, negative 30, as a matter of fact. Negative 30x minus 30y equals negative 1800,000. And here we get 80x plus 30y equals 24,000. I might have said 2,400 before, but we're going to eliminate, and we get 50x equals 6,000, and we get x equals 120, and we need them to add up to 600, so we're going to take 600 minus 120, and we're going to get y equals 480, and it's going to be in cubic centimeters, or inches centimeters. Inches cubed, not inches centimeters, inches cubed. Okay, 87. All right, number 5. So this is lesson 87.5. Another word problem. To bottle oxygen, the manufacturer separated the oxygen from KC, I don't know what that stands for, LO3. What percent by weight of this compound is oxygen? Okay, so I'm trying to go pretty quickly on these. So we have K. I'm separating these out vertically, and this is going to be O3. These are all ones. This one weighs 39. This one weighs 35, and oxygen weighs 16. Multiply those out, we get 39, 35, 48, and that totals to 122. They want to know the percent of oxygen. So we have oxygen is 48. So if we take 48 and we divide it by 122, we get 0.3934 something and others. And we're going to change that into percentage, so we do 39.34%. Now the second part of the problem is if we have 576 oxygen, what total do we need? So this is a proportion. You're just going to cross multiply. You get 48x equals 122 times 576, and then you divide by 48, such as this, and you get x equals 1,464 grams. Units. Alrighty. So number 5. Now we were on 13. I think this is the last one for this one. Yeah. Okay, so lesson 87, number 13. Another one of these. I'm just doing all of these because I just want you to know how to do them. Over m to the a, y to the b plus 1. I was going to do any of the new problems, but we don't have very many new problems. M to the 2a minus 6y all over, whoops, my pen stopped. We have to wait for it. Sometimes the internet gets really slow. There it is. Ma, oh no, it's pausing again. To the a, b, y to the b plus 1. All right, so bases are the same, so we're going to subtract. So we're going to get m to the 2a minus b minus a. We're dividing, so we subtract. Y to the 1 minus b minus 1. And this all just simplifies into m to the a. Let's see, lost my place. Hold on a second. Okay, m to the a minus b. And it's going to be y to the negative b. That's it. These are kind of fun and easy. I hope you learn to enjoy them. Okay, 13. Now we are on lesson 88. All right. So the only ones I'm going to do in class tomorrow would be the ones from the new kind of problems, like the practice problems. Lesson 88, we have number 4. So that would be initial pressure, volume, all that kind of stuff. Now, so you have, this is volume, pressure, has nothing to do with time. Whatever you guys were thinking, you were kind of wrong. So V1 P1 over T1 equals V2 P2 over T2. We are solving for pressure 2, or volume 2, right here, the second volume mentioned. So we're going to solve it for P2 first. So if we cross multiply and divide by P2, we're going to get V2 all by itself. So here we go. So I'm going to cross multiply, so I'm going to get V1 P1 T2, because if I cross that way, T1 is going to stay here, T1, lost the 1, and then we're going to divide by P2. So P2 would go down there. So we're just going to plug in all the parts that they say. So we're going to get 740 times 10 times 1,473 all over 570. You know what's the tricky part for this one? This little note that they put at the end of it. I actually did the whole problem without reading the note. But it says here, remember to add 273 to convert degrees Celsius to kelvins. So I did that. I added that onto the temperature. And when you plug this all in your calculator, you get 12.85 liters. Number 6, I decided we're not going to do. It says, write a short explanation of why the distance formula works and include a discussion of why either point can be 0.1 or 0.2. I could guess I could do that. Lesson 88, number 6. So the distance formula, I mean, that's what this section was on. Like if you have a point, if you're trying to find like a point, I don't even remember what these are about, but you had 2 points like that, and you're supposed to find the distance between them. The distance between them, that would be this distance right there. It's diagonal, so you can't just like measure it. So what we used to do is we would make a triangle, right? And we would figure out this distance, which is really subtracting the y points. And that's what the distance formula. The distance formula you guys got to memorize. It's x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So it's the Pythagorean theorem right in here. A squared plus b squared equals c squared, because when we square both sides, we would get r squared, right? Or you would have c equals the square root of a squared. Maybe this is the better way to do it, b squared. Now what a is, if this is a and this is b, it's just the difference of the x coordinates. So the x coordinate, say it moved from 1 to 4. So we're subtracting those. Because you square it, it doesn't matter the order, as long as you do it the same in both of these. So 1 minus 4 is 3, and 1 minus 4 is negative 3, and that would squared be 9, and 4 minus 1 is positive 3, squared is 9. So this is just the difference of the x coordinates, and say this one is 2 and this one is 4. The difference would be, which would be side B, would be the difference of the y coordinates. So that's like a really quick explanation of all that. Okay, onward, number 12, lesson 88, number 12. So we have another one of these. For some reason, I did all these for you. A plus B, you probably get the hang of them by now. Plus B, this is a more complicated one, it looks like. I'm just going to pop this up to the top just to get going, because, you know, it's the only thing in the bottom. I moved it up, made it positive. This is going to be 2A plus 2B. And we're going to add the exponents on the x's. So we're going to get x. These are going to cancel out, and we're going to get 3b. And then we would add these together, or maybe find a common denominator. So that would be 4a minus a. And so that would be x to the 3b to the y to the 3a over 4. That was really fast. I did that speedy. Okay, and the last one is number 20. Sorry you guys didn't put more problems down, but at least it's a shorter video. Number 20. My dog is outside. Hold on one second. Okay, that happens too often when I'm doing videos. Okay, the last one, you guys, you know how to do this one. We do this one all the time. 30 at 3, negative 30 degrees. Okay, so remember this. X is cosine, Y is sine. You just take your negative 20, cosine of negative 200. The other one, plus 30 times the cosine of negative 30. This is a pure calculator problem. Negative 20 sine of negative 200 plus 30 sine of negative 30. You pop these guys into your calculator. I just go straight across actually into my calculator. So I got X is 44.77 and Y is negative 21.84. And this one would be, if you're writing in rights and ups, it would be 44.77 right minus 21.84 up. All right, that is it for these lessons, and I will cover new problems in class tomorrow if there's new problems from the new lessons. So we'll see you tomorrow.